First, Belknap tumbled. Now Commonwealth will collapse. Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11, presents Commonwealth Collapse. Stay with us now for live coverage of the Commonwealth Implosion.
Good morning, everyone, from downtown Louisville, Theater Square. You are about to see Demolition Theater here on the news channel WHAS 11. I am Gary Rodemeyer reporting live this morning from the 22nd floor of the 800 building just across the street from the Commonwealth Building, where in just a moment we'll have our second big implosion of this winter season. The crowd downtown this morning is not large. Most of the people kept home by the cold temperatures and the prospect of watching this perhaps better on TV. We're going to have 6 different locations to show you this morning. From Sky 11, Chris Turner, from Rachel Platt on the ground, and from this great location on the above the Commonwealth Building here on the 800 building. Now, we're going to go to Doug Proffitt, who is on top of WHAS TV with another great location. Doug, we're ready for the big moment, 15 minutes away from now.
Good morning to you, Gary, and hello, everybody. 15 minutes away for a 15-second implosion. We're going to be watching the Commonwealth Building, which is just, well, it's over that way this morning. We're standing at about 0 degrees down here, and, of course, the wind chill is a factor. We also want to update you on things that people have been calling about in the newsroom. A winter storm is heading our way. We're under a winter storm watch right now. We're expecting 6 inches of snow by tomorrow morning, but we have good news to report. Both Jefferson County schools are closed Monday and Tuesday. Monday because of Martin Luther King Day, and Tuesday because of an in-service day, and of course Martin Luther King Day will keep a lot of people out of downtown. Chuck Taylor's going to be in at about noon today and follow it throughout the rest of the day, so stay with the news channel. Weather updates on a winter storm coming up tomorrow morning. 6 inches of snow in this area. We're going to get it again, folks. Well, we've got great locations, as we've been mentioning to you. One of the best spots from Sky 11. Let's go up live to Jim Turner. He's hovering in the helicopter above the implosion site. Good morning, Jim.
Doug, we're up in Sky 11 over downtown. The sun is just starting to come over the tops of the buildings. We'll give you a look down below now. I'm not quite sure what you can see from this angle. We're just to the northwest of the Commonwealth Building, and down below we didn't see a big crowd gathering, as you just saw and heard a moment ago from Gary and Doug. Not a big crowd downtown with these temperatures. That's what you'd expect, but we'll give you the view from Sky 11 back here in a few minutes. Back to Doug.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. We can tell you that on the downtown streets around this building, the crowd is pretty light. I guess a lot of people are staying home. And one of the best viewpoints we saw as we began our broadcast at 8:30 was with Gary Rodemeyer. He's on that big 800 building, which of course is that big sort of goofy-looking blue skyscraper downtown by the library. Hello, Gary.
Hi, Doug. We have a terrific view here. We're looking at the Commonwealth Building from the site that most people recognize it, and that's directly approaching it on Broadway. Let's tell you about a few things that have gone into last-minute preparations here this morning. We're looking right now at the new Commonwealth Building, and you're looking at the top of the building where the skylights have been covered on top of the Commonwealth Building, and as you can see there. Now let's pan down slowly to the old Commonwealth Building. The fence that had been surrounding the building yesterday has been removed. There is an earthen dike there now, and that is covering that port. And then the Hayburn Building is being protected by trucks that have been placed around there. Now let's pan down to our left. We're going down. We'll show you the street where a bunch of people have gathered about a block and a half away from the old Commonwealth Building. That's where our Rachel Platt is located. Rachel, I understand you're near the place where they're going to punch the button this morning.
Thank you.
That's right, Gary. We are down here at 5th and York, and boy, is it cold. Only about 50 people here or so. We are going to talk with the person who's going to press the ceremonial button this morning, and that is Bill Tate. Let's have you turn a little bit this way. If we can have our photographer, John Pennington, pan down here. This is what you got from the demolition experts, but this is not the real thing, or what?
No, it's not the real thing.
Now, how did you get the, I guess, the big ordeal of doing this? You're from Memphis, but apparently Commonwealth Insurance is where you're employed. They had some kind of raffle, and you won.
They had a raffle for United Way, and I won.
So tell me what you think about this, doing this important deed today.
Well, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm just honored to represent Commonwealth Life.
All right, and this is what you're going to press?
Yes.
Not the real thing, no.
No.
All right,
Okay.
thank you very much. And just to let you know, I talked with the demolition experts, and they said that there could be a slight delay, maybe of 5 or 10 minutes. They're saying now estimated time between 8:45 and 5 of 9. They say in the cold weather, there's no problem with explosives, but people slow down doing the finishing touches on these buildings. So anywhere from 8:45 until 5 of 9, so stay warm until then. Gary, back to you.
All right, thank you, Rachel. And you're looking at the sun breaking over the skeleton of the old Commonwealth building that's about to be imploded and fall into its grave this morning along Broadway in downtown Louisville. We'll be back with more coverage live in just a moment.
Well, live at 8:37 on this very chilly Sunday morning, welcome back to WHAS 11's special Commonwealth collapse coverage as we look from the Hayburn building there, which is right across the street at 4th and Broadway of the old building. We are promising you full-blown, no-talk coverage when the building comes down. None of us will be talking, so you'll get to watch it right here on WHAS 11. We're also being told now that the implosion may be delayed about 5 to 10 minutes. It may happen at 8:45, anywhere between 8:45 and 5 minutes to 9. And if you've just joined us, we also want to update you on the weather situation. A winter storm watch in effect for Kentuckiana. 6 inches of snow expected in our area by tomorrow morning. We're going to give you weather updates all through the weekend, the rest of this day, so stay here with us. Let's tell you a little bit about the Commonwealth. It may not look too pretty to you and me as we drive by it every day, but it has sort of an interesting history. The Commonwealth's history, its first 4 floors, from the street to the first 4 floors, built in 1926 right there at 4th and Broadway. And then they put the final 17 floors in 1955. Of course, that makes it a 21-story building. And this collapse today is expected to last between 15 to 17 seconds. And of course, it may seem a little odd to you when it all starts to happen, but Rachel Platt's going to tell us more about that later. And what we mean is once those explosives goes off, the building will not start to collapse right away. We'll give you the details on that. Now let's go back to Gary Rodemeyer. He's on top of the 800 building by the library. Hello, Gary.
Hi, Doug, and we're looking down on 4th and Broadway right now, a site that's usually a busy corner of commerce here in downtown Louisville. Right now, a few men in jumpsuits, white helmeted men down there making the final preparations for this implosion. There's a truck down there. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but as you can perhaps see also, the Hayburn building this morning has been surrounded by semi-trailer trucks and wood shields, and that is protecting that building from this implosion that is about to take place. A few people have begun to gather now about a block and a half away from the Commonwealth building around the area, held back by yellow tape that you've seen at police scenes, crime scenes, and that's where Rachel Platt is this morning. No crime scene there this morning, Rachel, but people are beginning to show up despite the cold weather.
That's right, Gary, but it's really funny. You can't see many faces because they're all bundled up. Blankets, I've seen everything. Some people drinking coffee. We'll go around here. People bundled up. You see the tips of their eyes and noses and things like that. You know, I asked people, why are you coming down here with it so cold? And they said it's a once-in-a-lifetime ordeal, and that's why they're here. What we do want to tell you is what is supposed to happen right before the blast. 2 minutes before, we're supposed to hear one 10-second siren. At 1 minute before, we're supposed to hear 2 5-second sirens. At 15 seconds before, 3 1-second sirens, not blasts. So hopefully that's going to be going off right behind us. I see Louisville police over there, and they're supposed to be in charge of that. So hopefully at 2 minutes, when we hear that 10-second siren, we know we're getting close. Again, the cold weather may have slowed things down. No problems with the explosives, but they said people move slower and getting the finishing touches might take a couple extra minutes. One thing they did say about the cold weather, there could be more broken glass. They said the glass becomes a little more brittle, the air is more dense in these cold temperatures, so they're a little bit worried about some of the glass like in the Brown Hotel and things like that. Other than that, just cold people, but the explosives should not be affected by the cold weather. Gary, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rachel. I know, talking to the people at the Brown Hotel on Friday, that they were concerned that some of that glass in the Brown Hotel is old and perhaps brittle and thin, and so that was one of the reasons why they felt that building had to be protected. And of course, the restaurant in the hotel this morning was closed down for breakfast, but it'll be open for brunch today. Right after the implosion, we'll be back with more live coverage in just a moment.
Welcome back live to WHAS 11's special Commonwealth collapse coverage. We now have a 2-minute warning on the Commonwealth building coming down. This is the tricky part, folks. We're going to try to be quiet Everything just froze. I'm just told that the implosion will now be at 9 o'clock or after. I'm being told that in my ear here, folks. So we do have a little bit of a delay on the Commonwealth implosion right now. Of course, they are extra careful, the folks at CDI. They know what they're doing. They've done this for years, sort of pioneered the implosion thing, and they want to make sure that everything is in place. Let's go to Rachel Platt. She's down near the command center following what's going on. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Doug. Basically, the folks from CDI just came up and they said the problem is because of the cold weather, some of the equipment is not working, not the explosive equipment, but mostly city sweepers they said they're having problems with. They need those city sweepers here right on Broadway. As soon as the implosion happens, cleanup was supposed to begin. So they're waiting on the city sweepers. They said the cold weather has made them so they can't start and get right over here. They're kind of frozen. So Jim Santora said that probably we're looking at 9 o'clock now. So he said just kind of hold tight. The machinery, until it gets here, they can't go. So we're looking at 9 o'clock. Doug, back to you.
Okay, Rachel, thank you very much. So there we go, 9 o'clock, where it means we're about still 16 minutes away from the implosion. Stay here with us. We're going to stay right on the air and bring it to you as the 21-story building comes down. And you know, Gary, this one's going to be sort of anticlimactic when you compare Belknap, because we had the Hollywood factor back in October.
Yeah, Doug, I think, though, that the fact that this is a little bit bigger building and that it's located right in the middle of downtown Louisville makes it a lot more interesting. I know from the very first time that we found out that they were going to implode the Commonwealth Building, the feeling around town was, wow, that's really a huge structure. And so as we look at it now, it's even now a little surreal. You wonder if it's really going to happen. You look across the street at this huge 21-story structure with the sunlight shining on it and so much history behind it. It was built in 1955, and so many people worked and spent their careers in this building, both in Capital Holding and Commonwealth Insurance. For instance, Chuck Taylor and I used to meet in there after payday and cash our checks in the Commonwealth Building. So there's a lot of history here, and there are a lot of people that have spent some times and parts of their lives. Let's go up to Sky 11, where Jim Turner is looking down over what is a beautiful, sunny but cold day here. Jim?
That's right, Gary. You know, the demolition experts, Controlled Demolition International, started preparing the Commonwealth Building back in July for this day. That was more than 6 months ago. We can show you some videotape now from last summer when they went to work on the building. By September, demolition men were working their way down the north and west facades of the building, tearing away the sandstone exterior of the structure. We went along one day as they worked on the 19th floor, 200 feet up in the air. They worked through the fall until finally this week they loaded the explosives into the building. Again, about 1,000 charges in 500 locations. It's interesting, it takes about 1,000 charges for this building. The Belknap Building, which is several stories smaller, it took 1,600 charges for that building. So more explosives there than here. And again, you say 9 o'clock, Gary, we'll see this come down, and this should be a great view, and we'll give it to everyone after we've seen it.
All right, Jim Turner, aloft in Sky 11, once again looking at the sunny skyline of Louisville this morning. Thank you, Jim. And let's go back and take a look once more at the previous implosion that occurred last October here in Louisville. That was the Belknap implosion, and that was quite spectacular. As you know, a little bit more Hollywood. What a day. Well, Sylvester Stallone was on hand for that one. Not so much Hollywood today, but we expect a similar sort of event this morning in downtown Louisville. We should be about 12 to 13 minutes away. We've been put on hold until 9 a.m. 9 a.m. the implosion time. Now, let's go to Doug Prophet, who's over on top of the TV station. Doug?
9 a.m. and some interesting facts about the Commonwealth Building. Local ATF agents, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms people, have been studying this. They've actually been learning it. You'd think that they would already know pretty much all they could about explosives, but they got inside this building and they came out and told us that, interestingly enough, there's less explosives being used to level the Commonwealth Building than were used in that incident in New York at the World Trade Center bombing there that did so much damage to that huge building. So exactly what's happening is they do not blow up the Commonwealth Building. The explosives are attached to support beams. The explosives slice through those beams, and then the building actually just falls onto itself. You're watching WHAS 11's special live coverage. We're just a few minutes away from the implosion. We'll be back with more for you coming right up. Welcome back live at 8:50. We're about 10 minutes away from the Commonwealth implosion in downtown Louisville at 4th and Broadway on this chilly Sunday morning. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt, back with you on top of the WHAS building. A quick program note for you. Our loyal viewers of the 9th and O Baptist Church program at 9 o'clock. We will be joining that program as soon as we finish the implosion coverage. We're going to stick with this coverage through the implosion, and once it's over, we're going to dump right out of this live report, and we'll go straight to the 9th and O Baptist Church program, so you will be able to see it coming right up. Well, let's go to Rachel Platt. She's standing by live where they're going to push the button. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Doug. You know, my mouth is barely working, so I can understand why city sweepers aren't. Apparently, that seems to be the problem with that. The equipment, some of it frozen. They're trying to get it down here in front of the Commonwealth Building. Immediately when the implosion is over, cleanup begins. That's why the city sweepers have to be here before this takes place. CDI is now saying right about 9 o'clock, so we're, what, 8 minutes away or so, something like that. And again, when we get to 2 minutes before the implosion, we should hear 1 10-second siren, so we'll be paying attention to that. If anything else changes, we'll get right back with you. I'll go talk to CDI here. Now back to you, Doug.
Okay, Rachel, thank you very much. And in case you're just joining us, folks, we also want to give you a quick weather update. That's another big story developing. You won't be able to tell it from all this sunshine, but we are under a winter storm watch right now in Kentuckiana. 6 inches of snow is expected to be on the ground by tomorrow morning. However, we're sort of saved by Martin Luther King Day on Monday and an in-service day on Tuesday. Jefferson County schools are not open Monday or Tuesday because of those days, but again, 6 inches of snow. They're expecting 8 inches in central Kentucky. We believe for now we're getting the 2-minute warning. Let's go back to Gary Rodemeyer. He's on the 800 building. Hello, Gary.
Yes, Doug, sirens are whistling through the air now. We're looking down on the spot where Rachel Platt is, down below what is sort of the control center on 5th Street, right behind the Bank of Louisville, if you're familiar with that. Just across from the vacant car lot at Brown Brothers Cadillac, they evacuated about 300 automobiles, so that's about the only time you'll ever see this huge car lot empty. Now, our photographer Todd Newman is looking now toward the Commonwealth Building, and as you can see, earthen dams have been constructed around the base of the building right now, and from what we see, this now 3 to 4 block area seems to be vacant, not a person around that we can see. And once again, sirens are filling the air here in downtown Louisville, and it appears that we're just moments away from the implosion of the old Commonwealth Building. Okay, we're going to stay with you now, hold a shot on the building here, and we're looking directly from behind a Brown Brothers Cadillac, about 1.5 blocks away from the Commonwealth Building, and we're just moments away from this implosion. It's now just about 5 minutes before 9 o'clock, and although we do not see any street sweepers around, we assume that that problem has been solved. Doug, we'll go back to you now, and I guess we're about ready to go.
Okay, Gary. We are going to be quiet and let you watch the implosion of the Commonwealth Building. Here we go. Goes the smoke cloud. That was something else. That was much louder than the Belknap implosion, I'll tell you that. And folks, I guess my lasting impression, and probably yours, will be how all the explosives went off, and then that big building, like it was going to be defiant or something, decided to stand there for a while. and not move. But now we've got a huge smoke cloud, a dust cloud, moving across downtown Louisville, heading toward the west, it looks like, and it's going to be overtaking us here on the WHAS building very shortly. But let's show you the replays now. Let's go to the Hayburn building, our camera right across the street from the Commonwealth Building. As you're looking live from Sky 11 there. Okay, we're going to show you the replay now, I'm told, from the 800 building. Also a pretty good view.
This is the replay from the 800 building, and what you can see now is the dust cloud moving across. You remember we told you there were a lot of people around, Rachel. Here's the replay once again. This is from the Tabor, from the Hayburn building, and well, there it goes, just a perfect collapse. We cannot see what's left of the building, and we're beginning to see it now. The dust cloud is beginning to clear, and you can see a little bit of the rubble that's left below. It looks like it's going to be about 2 or 3 stories high. I'm beginning to now get into view the new Commonwealth Building and the Brown Hotel. And you talk about dust. It has covered Broadway with dust. It's incredible, Doug. People have actually run back away from Brown Brothers to get away from the dust here. But it is extraordinary the amount of dust that this created. Doug?
I don't blame them from running, Gary, because we're in the middle of a dust storm right now. And, you know, I guess we don't have to worry too much about this dust because it's going to be covered with 6 inches of snow by tomorrow morning. Looking live again from Sky 11, you can see that cloud moving across the city now. Let's show you another view of the Commonwealth implosion just seconds ago. Okay, now we want to show you a very tight shot we took. Here's the implosion again. There you have it. The Commonwealth comes down live at 8:57. And now we've got a bunch of dust moving across downtown Louisville. It's pretty gritty stuff. But there's that rubble pile about 30 to 40 feet high. They said it'll be probably as tall as the 4 stories that were left. We want to thank you very much for tuning in to WHAS 11 this morning. We're getting ready to join the 9th and O Baptist Church program. Again, a winter storm watch underway for Kentuckiana. Join the news channel throughout the day for weather updates. For Gary Rodemeyer, Rachel Platt, Jim Turner, I'm Doug Proffitt in the middle of a dust storm. Thank you very much for watching WHAS 11, Kentuckiana's news channel. We'll see you later, everybody.